Alright, how y'all doing out there? This is Pete over at Southwest Rod & Custom, but we're over at D.I.Y Auto School today because we're working on our 1968 Mustang GT. Now where we left off is we removed our cowl paneling. Let me get that, I want to show it to you. And this is our factory cowl paneling that we will be reusing. This is a very important item. If you can salvage this piece and use it again, do so, because this piece right here is very important to reuse. We had to remove this piece because our fresh air ducts, you might call them, are rotted and rusted out. All right, loser, take a break.
Welcome to D.I.Y Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So if we look right here, you can see that this is rotted and rusted, and both fresh air intake ducts need to be replaced on this vehicle. Now what Loser's doing is he is using a spot blaster. Now what that is, that's a little sandblaster tool. It's a handheld sandblaster tool. We're using the aluminum oxide, aluminum oxide what? What does it say on there? What the fuck is this shit? Aluminum oxide blasting media. All right, we're not using sand on this. We decided to go ahead and use the blasting media because it cuts very quick and does an accurate job. So what Loser's doing now is he is taking the media blaster and he is getting all of this surface rust off inside the center here where we're not going to replace it. This is very important to do this because this traps a lot of water in here from the cowling vent, and you want to make sure that all of the surface rust is gone and accurately smoothed out and destroyed, you might say. So we got Weekly Loser taking the media blaster. Now this is a little handheld item. It's a good item to have for stuff like this. If he can hook the air hose up, there you go. And what he's doing is he is blasting away, just like I said, all the rust. Yeah, right, Loser down there in the sand. That's a good idea. All right, so how long did that take you, Weekly?
30 minutes.
All right, 30 minutes later, we finally see that Weekly Loser is done sandblasting the piece that we wanted him to sandblast. Let's go ahead and look at that and see what we got. What are you doing? What are you doing here, dude? What the hell, man?
Marking my territory.
We don't need to mark territories. What we do need to do is get a broom and start sweeping that shit up. And as we look at the floor and see where Loser decided to mark his spot, we see that the floor is filthy, filthy, filthy dirty. And this is the situation you have when you use this type of machine. So to sandblast this one little area right here, where my finger is rolling around because we're going to replace both these sides. Now you overrode that, what, 1 inch, 2 inches? Because we have got to cut those sections out and then we'll put the new ones in. And you can see that it came out very, very well. It looks very clean. It took all of the surface rust and rot out, and I believe it did a great job. All right, what do you think about sandblasting that versus taking a DA sander and a grinder?
Oh, yeah.
You think it did a great job?
Absolutely. Takes a lot less time.
Now, how much sand did we end up using, Loser guy? Fuck off, dude. I wouldn't say you used half, but I'd say you used a third of it. That's a lot of money just to sandblast that one little area with that little thing.
It doesn't go far.
No, it does not go far.
Very good job.
It does a really nice job.
Extremely
And
effective.
another thing is it makes a hell of a fucking mess. What I would do if it was me, since the shop was clean, first of all, I would sweep all this up and use a nice clean scooper or something and put it back in there so we can reuse it.
I was going to ask you if you can reuse it.
I don't think we can use the floor stuff because the reason is we got metal shavings, filthy dirt, and all this other shit in there, so the floor isn't any good. Right. But I believe that we can go ahead and use this. This is probably about a half of a fucking container full, so let's go ahead and put that back in there. And look at all the floor. Look at how the mess that this makes. This is a job that really, really makes a mess. And I'm asking myself, is it really worth it to do something like this just to restore it to that quality? I mean, That's a big fucking mess, and it took you, what, about an hour? 45 minutes?
45 minutes at the most, but I tell you,
Yeah.
it's going to take 45 minutes to clean this place up, and still won't even be clean.
Yeah. And to restore a vehicle like this, would you suggest, you're not the professional, but the amateur, would you suggest this is a good idea to do to restore a classic vehicle of this magnitude going this far?
Yeah.
Get the broom, loser. Let's start sweeping, dude. All right, so basically what we're doing here, we're taking you step-by-step procedure on how to restore your old classic vintage car. We're using the 68 Mustang GT as our donor car. So anything that you see my friend Pete do, this vehicle, is basically the same as what you would do to your car. That's a good way to get rid of that rust. Other procedures taken would be vinegar water mix, for instance. You can take some vinegar water and do the same thing, and then DA it down with some 36 grit sandpaper and work your way down to 80 and this, that, and the other. But since this is the back side of the cowling, the underside, where rot and rust really traps itself in there, my friend Pete decided this was the best way to rid this rust and get rid of it permanently. So I would say yes, it is worth it, considering the job that we did on this and the magnitude of work it took to get this piece off and to save us from this problem right here again. We did sandblast that. It looks great. I like the way that it came out. I also noticed right here somebody had removed the wiper arm assembly track that goes inside here. This would be your motor, and this over here, actually it goes on the other side, but I see that we have some broken bolts. We're going to have to go ahead and get those out as well and re-tap those because we need those inside. Fucking bitch, there's my fucking phone again. Answer it. I am busy. I'm busy. So now that all the rust is cleaned out inside our cowl vent area, we will go ahead and start removing the old fresh air vents and start installing the new. We'll be back. Take it easy. This is Pete, my friend Pete, taking you through the procedures of restoring a car and also teaching you how to do it, watching, listening, and learning. The tech tips that you see in this video set, the helpful hints, will help you do it right. We'll be back.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.